Evening, folks. It's getting pretty late, but just watched the presidential debates. But something that just kind of just keeps just gnawing on me. Yeah, I listen to quite a bit of talk radio. I enjoy listening to Andrew Wilkow. He's on XM channel 125, and of course Glenn Beck. Yeah, he's on his gbtv.com or Dish. What is it? 212, I believe. Anyway, both these guys, who I really do like a lot, they get into talking about, the bailouts and stuff. And it just kind of I don't know. I kind of let it go a while back. And then I heard Glenn Beck talking about it again with Stu and Pat and how Ford didn't take bailout money. And man, it's just driving me crazy. Why does it drive me so crazy? Let me tell you. Glenn Beck always tells you, look, do your own research. Trust, basically nobody. Go do your own work. So I did. And Glenn, Andrew, you both have been saying how Ford didn't take bailout money. And I actually did call in, and I got a hold of Andrew on his talk show, and he kind of dismissed it. And I'll get to that in a minute. The fact is, in 2006, Ford took $24 billion of taxpayer money. And then again in 2009, they took another roughly $6 billion for a total of $30 billion. Now, in 2006, the economy was humming along really good, and Ford took the money to restructure some of its long-term debt. Nonetheless, they took $24 billion. In 2009, they got a loan from the Energy Department to retool a couple of its plants to build more fuel-efficient vehicles. Nonetheless, they still took taxpayer money, $30 billion. Andrew and Glenn, as well as a lot of people, feel that, well, you know what? They would rather do business with a company that didn't take bailout money, that it gives them a little sense of patriotism, I assume. Well, how patriotic do you feel now, suckers? $30 billion, and you've been touting this stuff on the radio for years, and how many people have you influenced to go out and buy a Ford vehicle, which is bailed out just like a GM and a Chrysler vehicle, as well as the Karma Fisker that Andrew Wilkow talked so passionately about. Tesla took it. Hell, I even think Nissan got bailout money. I think Volkswagen even got some. I mean, a lot of people got bailout cash. So, that's what happens when you do your own research. Now, like I said, I did talk to Andrew over the radio, and he kind of dismissed it. He was like, well, that was 2006, and that wasn't part of the bailout. Well, Andrew, since you bought 2 new Ford vehicles here recently, I guess you're just trying to justify your patriotic purchase, right? Because Ford took $30 billion of bailout money when, in fact, they really didn't need it. How patriotic is that? I mean, I can make the case that GM and Chrysler, they didn't take the money until it was the absolute end of the road. Okay? Ford took it when it wasn't the absolute end of the road. It made good business sense. They got some long-term debt, straightened out, made them healthier to... Did it make them healthier to get through the economic downturn? Or was it they just had their bailout money ahead of time? Either way, you're kind of silly wrapping yourself in the Ford cloak now, aren't you? I mean, really? I mean, how can you even sit here and berate GM and Chrysler for taking bailout cash? Ford did the same thing. So I think you owe the American people an apology and to say, you know what? Yeah, we were wrong. I don't think that'll ever happen because it's an image thing, I think. Having some, 43-year-old partially balding guy from obscure Kansas, dare challenge, the mighty, Andrew Wilkow and Glenn Beck. It's not a challenge. I just followed Glenn Beck's instructions and trusted nobody. I independently verified things, and I appreciate Glenn for giving me that advice. I tend to do that anyway, but I just found this one glaring. It's like a big wart just hanging off his nose, because it just grinds on me when they, when something, when they run around touting Ford as, man, this is how, see, Ford, and they just sound, they're a good, solid American company and good business sense, and it just wrong. So, folks, I just wanted to get that out there, get it off my chest. Like I said, it was just gnawing at me, and I hope Andrew's enjoying his Ford Raptor and his wife's new Ford vehicle, paid for and bailed out by the United States taxpayer. So when he's driving that, I hope he remembers that he's driving a vehicle that was bailed out by the United States taxpayer. No different than a GM, no different than a Chrysler. I happen to be a Chrysler guy. I love Chryslers. I'd let the company go bankrupt and restructure. That's what should have happened without the taxpayer paid bailout. It's what they did anyway, So anyway, just wanted to get the truth out there. I appreciate you watching. It's almost 12:30 my time here at night, so I'm going to sign off and appreciate you watching. God bless America, and we'll see you on the next one.